Thought I would just make a quick video on the resurrection. Now, some of you might be thinking I look a little bit like Tom Coate, my brother Tom Coate, the Watchman River, but we're not brothers. We're not brothers. I got a little lazy. It got really cold here, so I thought I would just let my beard grow out a little bit. But I am shaving, most likely tonight or tomorrow, because my wife actually hates beards. So, anyways, the point of this one is we're going to talk about the resurrection. So Paul explains this in 1 Corinthians 15. I've made several videos about this, but some people don't quite grasp it. So I thought I would just throw it down one more time just so you get an idea. There are only two resurrections. And this is the mystery that Paul was trying to teach us in 1 Corinthians 15. He's telling us when this happens, what happens after we die, all this kind of stuff. So if you read it, hopefully you'll understand it. But yeah, you might have to read it a couple times. Daniel didn't have a complete understanding of the resurrection. He saw it off in the distance, and this is why he kept asking questions. And then the angel Gabriel basically said, hey, this is for a distant future in the latter days. Don't worry about it. Go to your lot and seal up the book that you're basically looking at. So he did, and that's it. That's how Daniel ends. You can't go to the book of Job to understand the resurrection. You can't go to the book of Job to understand the church. None of that stuff. The rapture, any of that stuff, you can't go there. You have to go to the Pauline epistles. Why? Because this was downloaded to Paul the Apostle by Jesus Christ himself. These are the words of God in the Pauline epistles. The more you study them, the more you read them, the more you will understand the mysteries. And there's a few of them. I'm pretty sure there's at least 7 mysteries. But Paul goes over them thoroughly. And then once he was done, he was able to depart. So that's kind of interesting in itself. So we have 2 resurrections, 2 deaths. There's not 3 deaths. There's not 4 deaths. There's not 4 resurrections. There's 2. The first resurrection is the resurrection of the quick. What does that mean? Well, Jesus Christ raises us from the dead the second that we die. We end up in heaven with a new heavenly body that Jesus Christ himself designed personally for us as pleased him. And Jesus mentions this in the upper room with his disciples, saying, look, in my Father's house are many mansions. I'm going to go away, but I'm going to come back to get you. These mansions are our new heavenly bodies. This is why we have a seat in heavenly places. This is why we're to be heavenly minded, all this kind of stuff. Jesus Christ is the second Adam. His image is from the heavenly. Our image now today is in the heavenly. The first Adam is earthy. That's physically, we have the earthy image from the first Adam. But when you get saved, you now have the heavenly image, which is the second Adam, which is Jesus Christ. So this is why we get a heavenly body the second that we die, and it happens in the twinkling of an eye. This body cannot inherit incorruption. This mortal body cannot inhabit immortality. It just doesn't make the jump. This body will decompose once we die. It gets buried into the ground. It looks like we're asleep to everyone else. Paul says we're not to mourn like others that have no hope. Why? Because we are instantly in heaven. And one day, those of us that are alive that remain will be caught up into the air when Jesus Christ meets us, and he's going to bring all of our loved ones with him, those that died in Christ. This is how we meet him in the air. This is our rapture. This is talked about in 1 Thessalonians 4. So in the book of Revelation, it also talks about blessed are those that participate in the first resurrection. So when's the first resurrection? It's whenever you die in Christ. The second resurrection is the one that you don't want to be a part of. What's that one? That's the resurrection of the dead. Those people show up before the great white throne judgment. They get judged. All the books are open, and another book was open, which is the Lamb's Book of Life. And whoever's name is not written in the Lamb's Book of Life, which is basically all the dead, they get tossed into the lake of fire, where the devil is also tossed, where the fallen angels, a third of the angels, are in the lake of fire. Also the Antichrist and the false prophet are. And anyone's name that is not found in the Lamb's Book of Life is in the lake of fire, gets tossed into the lake of fire. That's it. There's no more resurrections after that. It's only the resurrection of the quick and the resurrection of the dead. That's it. There's only two deaths. First death is when you die physically. The second death is when you die by getting tossed into the lake of fire. And coincidentally, death and hell also get tossed into the lake of fire once and for all. So, if you're looking for more resurrections, you're not going to find them. You're going to look at different times, but there's only one resurrection, and that is unto life. The second resurrection is unto death. That is where you get tossed into the lake of fire. That's it. That's all there is. Two types of deaths, two types of resurrections. Hope you got something out of it. If you have, then subscribe to this channel. Feel free to let me know where you're watching from, and leave a comment as well. Thanks for watching.